Hey, before we get started today, make sure you swing by thefamboss.com to visit our sponsors, take advantage of those remarkable deals they've got, and learn more about the show. And let's get started. Welcome back to the Fan Boss Frequency. My name is Chris. I'm your host, and today I want to talk about truck week. Happened about 2 weeks ago at my shop. Drove me nuts. Still driving me a little crazy. I'm not over the heartburn of that just yet, but inevitably in my life, one thing leads to another, to another, to another. So, every fleet has one. Every operation has one. It's that stretch of time where it feels like everything that can break does. And mine always seems to pick, I don't know, like a genre. So this week it was particular week. It was trucks. And if you've ever been in the middle of that type of problem, you know, it never stays one problem for long. It starts simple, then one truck goes down, not a problem. Then, you know, the next thing you know, there's something else with the backup, and our situation was very much that way. The ops manager's truck, F-150 with the 5.0 Coyote. It's been making a little noise, little typewriter noise. And so took it in to get it fixed. It's not a problem. I got a service truck that sits out back. How bad can it be? Fire up the service truck, nothing happens. Throw on jump box, bing, bang, boom. It starts, and as soon as you take the jump box off, we're done here. Alternator and battery, one truck. All right, $500 later. We also replaced the serpentine belt and the tensioner while we were in there. Seemed like the right thing to do. Meanwhile, the other truck's in the shop. We don't know what's wrong with it yet. So, service truck, driving home. Hey, Dad, the check engine light's only on, but it's flashing. Well, fantastic. So, had an emissions issue, which was a sensor. Swapped that out. Bang 3 in the engine. New spark plug. Bang, bang, boom. Ready to rock and roll. That truck's back online. Purring like a kitten, doing its thing. So, that's the beauty of redundancy. That's why you don't put your whole operation on one vehicle, one driver, one point of failure. But then when the backup truck doesn't start, we have a different type of trouble. And we had to overcome that. So the sound of the clicking and banging, which wasn't bad, it's intermittent, but it was a really good time for me to kind of realize some truths. This is going to be expensive to fix, by the way. I've been quoted about $4,000, $4,500, and it's, you know, replacing this, that, and all things in between. And when I get it back, it should be perfect. But it also told me that we weren't as ready as we thought we were. And that was a hard lesson, because most people love the idea of a backup plan. They love the phrase. They like the comfort. Don't worry, I got another truck. Don't worry, I can handle it. I got it covered, no problem. Until the moment actually comes when you need it, then the backup has to prove itself. And if it can't, then it wasn't really a plan. It was absolutely wishful thinking. So now here's the real lesson. Maintenance is not an expense. It's an investment in uptime. I need you to hear that, because maintenance is not the thing you do when you have extra money. Maintenance is what protects the money you're already making, because a truck that goes down is not helping you serve anybody. That truck that won't start is not making you money. The truck that's waiting on a repair is not moving your business forward. It's sitting there. Mine's been sitting for 2 weeks. And sitting there costs more than people think. That's why uptime matters. Uptime is where the work gets done and the money gets made. Uptime is where the customer stays happy, and it helps our business keep its word, period. And when uptime's interrupted, everything else starts to shake. That's why I love the detail about Skylar reading the codes, because that's what smart operators do. They don't ignore the warning lights. They don't brush off the symptoms. They don't hear a strange sound and say, oh, it'll be fine. No, they read the codes. That's not just mechanical. That's mindset. That means you're paying attention to what the system is telling you before the system fails completely. That $4,500 job, while it hurts my feelings, is way less expensive than if I'd have destroyed the truck and grenaded everything. So this applies to more than just trucks, though. Preparation applies to your business, your operations, your finances, your peoples, and your processes. If the warning signs are there, don't wait. Read them, respect them, but most importantly, respond to them. Because every small issue ignored is part of a much larger issue. And that's how you end up with the problems that draw your business backwards. That's the part we can't afford. Those small problems don't look serious at first. They always look small, subtle, often easy to overlook. But that's exactly how the damage gets in. A weak battery, a bad sensor, that alternator that's barely hanging on. And all of a sudden, your plan B is not a plan B anymore. Now let's make this practical. If you're running a fleet, here's what you need to do. First, treat maintenance like part of the business model. It's not an afterthought, not a when we get around to it item. It's part of the model. Second, don't just own a backup, maintain the backup. A spare vehicle sitting in the yard is not protection if nobody checks it, services it, and verifies it'll actually start when you need it. Third, build in preventative inspections. The best problems are the ones you can catch early. The worst problems are the ones that wait until you're on your busiest day, needing and rely on that piece of equipment. And fourth, create a culture where people speak up early. If they see a light, hear a noise, notice a change, that needs to matter to them. Early reporting saves money, time, and ultimately the operation. That's not complaining, that's leadership. Because at the end of the day, the whole story is really about responsibility. Responsibility to your customer, to your team, and to the operation. If the truck matters, take care of it. If uptime matters, protect it. If the business depends on it, don't leave it vulnerable, because that noise you ignore today may be the cost you pay tomorrow. And if your backup needs a backup, then it's time to start working on maintaining the things in your fleet. And that's one of the things I love about telematics is it helps me build in not just that part of my business or part of my culture, but it gives me accountability and a backup to my backup to know when things are being done and not done. That service truck, we haven't used it in 3 months. Nobody thought to go check it. Surprise, it's on the list now. So I hope this little bit of information kind of helps. It's just kind of a peek behind the curtain. It's like when it rains, it pours. So now we're kind of debating what are we going to do with this truck. It's not a fatal problem yet, but it's getting there. So stay safe out there. Until next time, we'll see you on the next one.